So let's just start off this episode talking about the Premier League. Now, the first game, very, very controversial game, very good game for one set of fans. Actually, is it even a good game for any set of fans who, like, I guess Man United fans would be happy as they beat Brighton 3-2. Now, before we talk about the performance of Man United and the performance of Brighton, let's talk about quite frankly, the stupidity that went on at the end of the game. So, Brighton scored a goal. They scored a goal quite late after having a lot of chances. March definitely should have put away some of those chances. He had a good game, but he definitely should have put away some more of those chances. But yeah, obviously, then United had an attack in the last minute. I think it was like a corner or something. Neil Maupay handballed it. The ref blew the full-time whistle after the ball's cleared off the line. And then they went to VAR. So, like, don't you think that's a bit ridiculous? The fact that the game was over and then they went to VAR. And I kind of get it because it was a handball, but the ref blew the full-time whistle. When that happens, game's over, game's done. You don't go back to check a decision and change it. That's not how football works.
I'm not gonna lie, like, I agree 100% with you, but apparently it's a new rule though that you can change decisions after the game. Like in that case,
What?
apparently it's in the rule book. Like, honestly, I'm shocked. I thought full-time whistle, you think, yeah, that's the whole game done. Everything's settled. Nothing can be changed. That's it. The result's the result. But apparently you could actually do that now. And, you know, that is... It's a first. I doubt we'll see that a lot happening in football. But, you know, there's big controversy with that. You know, it is a penalty. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But personally, I think once the full-time whistle is done, that's it. Nothing can be changed.
The game is done, innit? Yeah.
But, like, the one thing that I am confused about as well is that I'm pretty sure there was 5 minutes of additional time in it.
Yeah, I'd rather that much, yeah.
So if Brighton scored 90 plus 5 minutes, wouldn't the game finish the moment Man United kick off?
It was probably because, like, you know how, like, sometimes, like, time, like, you know how Man United, like, try to, like, when you're winning at the time, like, you know, you, like, walk a bit, you maybe try to go down with cramp, you waste time when you're on the third, stuff like that. United will probably were doing stuff like that, so the ref added on time. That's probably what happened there.
Honestly,
but I still think it's ridiculous, like, like, normally, like, fully analysing the performance, yeah, Brighton played better. Brighton deserves to come out the game with 3 points, never mind 1. Although it was a handball, I still think that obviously I am a fan of VAR. I think if they could get it right, like the way that they did in World Cup 2018, the way that they do in the Bundesliga, Serie A, if they can get it right like that, I think VAR is a great addition. And to be honest, the more right decisions, the better. Because, like, the things that has happened in football, where if there was a right decision, then it could have changed a lot. Like, one thing I remember is Chelsea in the Champions League. You know that Drogba moment, it's like, it's a disgrace. Like, moments like that, stuff like that wouldn't have happened, innit?
Yeah, exactly.
But I think something like the full-time whistle going, and then going to check VAR, and then restarting the game after. That's just new levels of, like, just nonsense. Like, come on, man. Like, call the penalty, but sometimes in football things don't go your way. Like, you just have to firm it. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like on a Brighton point of view, Brighton supporters' point of view, like, I'd be so disappointed with that result. You know.
Yeah, let's talk a bit about the performances. So, like, you'll talk about how Brighton's fans would feel. How was Brighton's performance in that game?
Yeah, Brighton played exceptional. Like, they pressed Man United, they attacked Man United. Like, they wasn't scared of the opposition. You know, another stand-up performance from Lamptey. You know, winning the penalty in the first half. You know, they were organised defensively. They kept their shape, and they were unlucky. Like I think they hit the woodwork at least 5 or 6 times in that game.
Yeah, I think it isn't it like a record for like most amount of times hit the woodwork in a Premier League game or something.
Yes, I think so. But I really feel sorry for them, especially like the way it ended. Like, you know, Morpay, it hit his hand. But at the same time, like when you're defending like that, it's pretty hard to like control where your hands are going.
Yeah.
I think they need to like be more lenient on the handball thing, because you can't like, especially when he's jumping, defending a corner, you can't really control where your hands go when you jump. And that's from like me playing football myself, because I play and I know it's not the easiest thing keeping your hands by the side. Like the other day I was playing football with my brothers in the garden. The amount of times the ball hit my hand because my hand's just in a natural position and I can't do anything really and truly to stop it. When I'm in play, in the motion, controlling where my hand goes is not really possible, if you get what I'm saying. It's very hard.
We will discuss like the handball rule a bit later, because I know that we both have views on that, innit? In my opinion, I think that Brighton deserves to come out of this game with all 3 points. I keep saying it, I'll say it again. I said at the start of the season, Brighton are going to be dangerous, and Graham Potter is showing why. Obviously, Morpay very cheeky with that penalty, then the celebration, then some at the end of the game, very big contrast. But I feel like, although this game did highlight where Brighton are like very, very good, I think because of how poor Man United were, it made Brighton look like quite a lot better. Like, look at the stats here. Man United 7 shots, Brighton 18. United 3 on target, Brighton 5. United 46% possession, Brighton 54. We're meant to believe that Man United are just attacking side, or go out and dominate teams, dominate the ball with like the fast players up front. You know what I mean? But when you're having that amount of possession, when you're winning because of a dodgy decision, Brighton probably should have had another penalty. Me personally, I think that Pogba fouled was Connolly in the box. Do you remember that Pogba and Connolly were like?
I didn't see that. Like, I wasn't watching the game until like the last 15 minutes.
But yeah, I think Brighton should have had another penalty. Pogba didn't even play that well. I think Man United were just really, really poor this game. Yeah, Bruno didn't play that well either.
Bruno gave away a pen. He lost his mark after March's goal. And then, you know, like, all of that is kind of eliminated for him scoring the winning goal, the penalty.
Yeah. It's like United winning this game, although people are talking about how like United weren't the best, they're not like going into it enough. Like, you don't, like, again, I'm not trying to get anything away from Brighton. Sonny March had a great game, and Lamptey just did his thing again. Trossard was really good. If he didn't hit the post or crossbar, then Brighton would have won like this game by like 5 goals or something. But I think we can't forget how like poor United were. And also another thing is, why is Van der Beek only coming on in like the? I think he came on like in the 80s, like in the late 80s. I'm trying to see here when the sub was, but he came on quite late. Yeah, he came on in the 91st minute. This guy has scored. He scored a goal on his debut, or coming off the bench, and I'm pretty sure he had a good game midweek in the Carabao Cup. For some reason, he started in Matic, who is basically past it against him. Against Brighton. I just don't really get that. But
like, I don't think he's got the balance of that midfield yet. Like, you know, we all know like Pogba, Van der Beek and Bruno Fernandes are not defensive midfielders. And he likes to play off 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
Like, getting that balance of that midfield is hard. Like, you know, Van der Beek's new to the club. Pogba and Bruno have been there for longer than him, so obviously they're gonna be starting ahead of him. But it's that CDM position. Like, they're not gonna play Van der Beek there because he's very attacking. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, like with the substitution, like him coming on in the 91st minute, like I said in previous episodes, that I don't know if Ole is, you know,
Is the right man.
No, not that. Like he's
Oh.
too reluctant to change his starting
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
Like I see a lot. He does keep like. There's been times where I've seen like Bruno not playing well, Martial not playing well. Sometimes Rashford's not playing well, and he doesn't want to change it. And I try something new.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Lingard never came on.
Lingard.
No, yeah, because like, you know, he would have created something in the middle, NG in the middle. You know, Van der Beek should have came on earlier. I'm surprised like they didn't change the striker. Like Galo might have come on.
He wasn't. Garlo wasn't in the squad.
He wasn't.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. But Daniel James, I'm pretty sure he was on the bench.
No, he wasn't either.
He wasn't either.
Uh-uh.
Okay, in that case then, so he was very limited. But I'm surprised Lingard never came on. You know, he was an attacking player, you know, just switch something up. But I don't know.
But I think...
Go on.
I think that, I don't think he has the balance. I think his attack is good enough. I'm personally not convinced by Martial. I think he had a good run at the end of the season, but I think that's what he is. He's a player who have like purple patches and then like will disappear for a little bit, if you know what I mean. I think Bruno's class. I think Rashford is class. I think Greenwood is, you know, has great potential. Yeah, so I think Greenwood's one for the future. I think Pogba. I feel like we keep saying this with Pogba, that like he needs to be consistent, blah 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 blah. But we do know the qualities he has. I think Luke Shaw needs to get out of that team. I think Lindelof needs to get out of that team as well. I think Matic, I don't know why he's still near the first team squad, to be honest. I think a lot of changes need to happen at Man United, but we've been talking about this game for a while, so let's move on to the next one. I'm gonna skip. We'll go back to this. I've written down here one, but we'll skip that one. Man City against Leicester. We'll talk about now. City, of course, losing 5-2. City, the team that we both had them to be Premier League champions, losing to Leicester 5-2, conceding a hat-trick to Jamie Vardy, conceding 3 penalties. 3 penalties. Now, obviously, it's a bit peak because their best centre back, probably that, I'll say he's the second best centre back in the Premier League. I think he could have played because he had Corona. And also, both their main strikers are injured. So, obviously, it's not the best situation. But how do you think this game went?
I'm just still shocked, to be honest. Like, honestly, Mahrez scored in like the 4th minute. I thought, it's gonna be a walkover for Man City. You know, they dominated Leicester. They just couldn't score again. And then, you know, Kyle Walker gives away a pen in the end of the first half. Vardy scores. I thought, it's just a little.
I feel like just a little blip.
Yeah, exactly. And then, you know, Vardy scored that back heel lobbed Edison on the floor. Like,
that was a great goal.
But even then, I thought, City's just gonna bounce back because it's City.
Yeah.
Then they give away a pen, and I'm thinking, another pen. I'm like, 2 pens in a game. Can't be. I think that's when they make it.
That's when they make it 3-1.
3-1. Then I think, was it that? Did City score to make it? No.
Maddison scored his
and
banger.
I was like, what?
Absolute banger.
Out of nowhere.
Wait, was it Ake? Ake should have closed him down better.
I can't even remember. It came out of nowhere, and then, you know, Ake scored. And then they gave away, Mendy gives away another pen, like the 3rd penalty. That back 4 had some game, you know, like 3 out of 4 of that back 4 gave away a pen and 1 scored. What an eventful game for Man City's defence that was. But
Man City's defence has spent about, is it 400 or 600 mil on the defence?
I'm not even sure. I would assume it's 400. 600 seems really.
Yeah, so Mendy was about 50, Walker was about 50, Laporte was about 60, 70, Who else have they signed in that defense? Edison was about like 50. So that's already 50, 100, 160, 210. Ake was about 50. Stones is about 50, so that's 310 there. That is that even that plus now signing Ruben Diaz, alright, plus then also Angelino, don't forget about him, plus then Cancelo. Like these are a lot of defenders and their main issue is still in defence. Now, obviously I just said Ruben Diaz. Do you think he is the solution or can be part of the solution to fix that back line?
I'm gonna be real with you. I don't even know who this guy is.
Alright, so he came from Benfica.
Yeah.
He is how old is he? I look at it, 23 years old. Came from Benfica. I think he's about 6'2". He, but I did look at some of his stats, and the one stat that stood out, his aerial win percentage in the box, I think, is only about 50%. So for a centre back, you don't really want that sort of defensive numbers. However, he is said to have quite good leadership qualities, and I feel like that back line needs a commanding presence because obviously lost Vincent Company, so having that commanding presence in the back line can probably really help them out.
Yeah, I think he could be the solution. I don't know if he'll start because Ake and Laporte, but again they're two left-sided centre backs. I don't know.
I reckon that Diaz, obviously City have been linked to Koulibaly for basically the whole summer, and now they've got Diaz. By the way, another player who Man United were linked to, who one of their rivals has gotten, like it's happened again for like the 6th or 7th time this summer. But anyway, I think he'll probably be the starting next to Laporte. Laporte will start. Laporte's better.
No, but I don't know. I think Laporte's injured.
No. Wait, so you're saying if Laporte's fit, you would rather play Ake? You know what you're saying?
No, I'm saying no. Obviously,
Okay.
I would play Laporte, but I don't know. I just feel like Pep spent the money this summer. I feel like he might start him. But I don't know. At the same time, I don't know. They're probably gonna start two left-sided centre backs. Probably,
I don't really see them doing that. But
I don't know, but the City just needs to pattern their defence. Like, if you look at the penalties, they were all given away for the same thing. Like, the Leicester attackers getting in front of the defender and crossing the defenders, and then the defenders just taking them out. Like, that's basic defending. If they go across you, you just let them go across. They've gone and tripped them up, try to make a tackle, And then a lot of them were tackles that didn't have to be made. Like, another defender could have come and just cleaned it up.
Yeah. Alright, so is Pepper board fraud?
No.
How come? Because he spent all this money, and the main reason he was brought in was to win the Champions League. Like, let's be real. Since he won the Champions League, he hasn't won it yet. All right. Cool. Yeah, he did really well in the Premier League his first in 2 seasons in a row. Obviously, he won a quadruple. But people calling him a fraud. People saying that Klopp is better. What are your views on this whole debate? You don't think Klopp's better than Pep?
I don't think he's better than Pep. I think the reason why I'd say this is because
But I'm talking about right now. Right now.
So I can't talk about from when they first joined the club.
Okay, yeah, okay, cool. Go ahead.
In that sense, the reason why I'd say Klopp is better, not Klopp, Guardiola is better is because when he first joined City, he was winning things. He's been winning things every season he's been there.
Okay.
The reason why I'd say Klopp is not better than Pep is because when Klopp came there, he was in a situation where, he needed to sign players, but look where the level where Liverpool were when he first came. They were finishing outside top 4, and they've got better. They've moved up, and now they've won the league, Champions League, etc. but it took a process. I'm not saying that's a bad thing in taking a process into getting to the top, but I'm saying the fact that Pep was winning straight away makes him better.
Okay, Pep's first season, he finished in like third, and he didn't win anything. Okay,
He did.
In Pep's first season, no, he didn't.
Okay, all right, fair enough. All right, I take that back. But he won something second season.
Klopp inherited a horrendous Liverpool team. Okay, this was a team that was battered. Okay, he has spent very little money, has made very good signings. Okay, how many Klopp signings or Liverpool signings since Klopp's been there have flopped? Let's look at it. Salah, sign, one of the best players in the league. Mane, sign, one of the best in the league. All right. Firmino, sign, one of the best players in the league. Henderson, he was already there, but he has gone from that little kid who everyone was like, how the heck is he gonna take over from Steven Gerrard, start being one of the best, one of the players who like you're thinking. He was in the conversation for Player of the Year last year. I don't think he should have been in that conversation, but he was in it because he was key captain the team to the title. Virgil van Dijk, alright? He has improved Wijnaldum, Fabinho, like, and then look at Pep, okay? Obviously, City have a lot more money to spend. So obviously, if you have the money to spend, I'm not criticizing you for spending that money, especially like one of a Chelsea fan. You know what I mean? Because we've both spent a lot of money into years. But Pep has made a lot more signings. Pep bought his way to success. Although I'm not criticizing that, I think there's a lot more quality in a manager when they build up a squad from nothing to then Champions League to then Premier League compared to a manager who actually bought their way to success. Although, of course, Pep, Centurions, quadruple, 2 Premier Leagues in a row, like 198 points something over the course of 2 seasons. That is incredible. I'm not taking that away from them, but they spent a lot of money in the process. And I think even right now, Klopp's Liverpool are better than Pep's City. And I think that is because of the method that Klopp used to get to the top. I know I'm ranting right now, sorry. But the method that Klopp used to get to the top, that has more longevity compared to the method that Pep used. But, sorry for ranting there. Sorry for ranting. I just had a lot of points I have to get off my chest. But, you know, if you think that Pep's better, I understand why. But I think that Klopp right now is definitely the best manager. Yeah, so let's talk a bit about Leicester's performance. Obviously, they had a good game. I mean, did they have their best game? They won the game. They beat one of the best teams in the league for 28% possession. How well can Leicester do this season? Obviously, one of the titles of our episodes on the new channel was how well can Leicester do this season. Check out that channel link in the description. So how far do you think Leicester can actually go this season?
First place, you know. No, I'm joking. I'd say they'd be challenging for top 4 again. You know.
Challenging for top 4 again. Okay, yeah.
I think this season they're a lot stronger than they were last season.
Last season they were strong. They just had quite a bad. Since the turn of the year, they were quite poor.
Yeah, but I think they've started the season strong. They've started on smoke. You know, they won it. They want top 4 this year. They let it slip away from them last year. Yeah, they made some good signings like Castagna, Bola.
Yeah.
And, who else did they sign?
They got. I don't really think they didn't really sign many people. They just like looking at the starting 11 they played. All the players were there last season who were in the starting 11 apart from Castagna. But
I think a key part to their team is that Belgium trio. I'm not even gonna lie. Tielemans, Pratt, and Castagna, like their link-up play is sick. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. There's just a special connection between them 3. And I like, you know, I have to rate Brendan Rodgers for what he's doing.
Yeah, definitely, 110%. Could be crazy, but I still think that Leicester will probably finish. And like, I don't think they'll get European football. I think the Europa League may be a bit too much for them. But
Actually, that could be a thing because remember they are playing Europe this season, and I don't think they really have that depth in the squad.
Exactly, yeah.
So your point is not wow.
Okay, cool. So now let's move on to Liverpool against Arsenal. Liverpool winning 3-1, gave me a beautiful 30 points in the Predictors League. Lacazette missed a lot of chances in this game. Arsenal fans very upset. In fact, one of our friends had to take upon himself to deal with the situation in Lacazette's comment section. I don't condone that. However, he did what he did. What do you think about this game? Let's first of all talk about Arsenal's, quite frankly, their lackluster performance and Lacazette's poor finishing.
I think they were hanging on.
Arsenal.
Yeah, like Liverpool had all the ball. I don't know what more to say than they were hanging on to win this. They didn't play particularly well.
Yeah.
Laka took his first chance with the Robertson mistake. He
barely took it. He barely took that chance. Let's be honest. He didn't really kick it. He's kind of like guided it.
I didn't see it clearly.
Way.
I just saw it. I saw it upside down.
Wait. Why?
Because when I saw it, I was walking home from football and I looked over the phone. And it was upside down. So I just saw it. I didn't really see the goal properly. But
it was like Robertson. So Robertson failed to clear the ball and it kind of just went up in the air. The Lacazette kind of like a cobra kick. Like, he stuck a leg out, kind of spun around, and his foot kind of hits it enough to kind of put it just over the keeper, just so they could try and nestle to the back of the net.
Well, yeah, but he done his job as a striker, being in the right place at the right time. But the game got on. He had 2 chances. I don't know what he was trying to do with the chip.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to beat this out now.
Why?
You said the S word.
I said chip.
Oh, never mind.
I said chip. But yeah, I don't know what he was trying to do with the chip. I was kind of getting onto a few people. Because academically my striker. But Liverpool just dominated. What an assist from Leno to Mane.
Oh, beautiful.
Salah had 10. Going back to 2015 with a dab. David Luiz with a beautiful assist to Jota on his first goal for the club.
Debut goal for Jota, lovely.
What more can you say really for Arsenal?
I personally feel that I feel like Liverpool always going to win this game. I mean, we definitely underestimated them for the start of the season. You saying that they will finish in third. I said second. Obviously, the season had just started, but they look very hungry. Especially Salah, the way he got that ball, just dribbled it through through into the box. Selfish, but they still got out of it. And sometimes, I feel like sometimes you need that player to be a bit selfish.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what he took over Jota.
Who took off Jota? Oh, what? Wait,
Salah.
Who took off Jota?
Salah took it off Jota. It was right.
I don't remember seeing that.
Oh no, I don't know. I just think Salah's too selfish at points.
But anyway, I think the 3 at the back for Arsenal, it's not bad, but in a way, I feel like Gabriel definitely would have added something. I feel like playing. I don't know, something about that midfield too. They didn't really look as good as they did. Obviously, the first game they played against Fulham, that is really going to inflate how they look. Yeah, I think if you want to be able to get on the ball, be able to take the ball forward a little bit, you need to be starting a Danny Ceballos in that midfield. I don't know. I just feel like that midfield too. I don't really know. Unless they're trying to get attack down with the width of Maitland-Niles and Bellerin. Otherwise, I don't really know how to try to do that formation. But then, yeah, Liverpool looked very strong, looked very dominant. Jota got a debut goal. How do you think he's going to be for Liverpool this year?
Deadly.
Would he really get that? Would he really get that much game time?
Honestly, I don't think he's gonna start at all,
Mhm.
unless any of the front three get injured.
Yeah.
But you know, like when he comes on in the second half, it's gonna be dangerous. You know, he's quick, technical. He's got a good shot on him. So I feel like regardless, like just give him a few minutes and he will make an impact on the game.
Yeah, I think because one of the reasons why I predicted Liverpool to not win the league is that I didn't think they had that attacking depth. Now that they signed Jota, Minamino is, coming more and more confident in that side when he does play.
Exactly.
I think they now have that, decent quality depth in attack. Like, you don't need world class attackers on the bench. You need people who can, if they do play, then they can have that quality, and that they come off the bench, they can do something. You know what I mean? That's what they have on their bench now, and I think this will definitely give them an extra dynamic. Plus Thiago, I think this will definitely give them a really good new dynamic. So really, we just need to wait and see how Liverpool can do this season. Now, the last game we'll discuss. Really been dreading this. I put on my Snapchat story that, 'cause I remember during this game I FaceTimed you. I was like, we might have to cancel the podcast because West Brom against Chelsea, 3-3, losing 3-0 at half time in one of the worst kits I've ever seen in my life. Looks like a shopping bag. It looks like the kit is so bad, but yeah, in this game, I think it just illustrates why it's so important that we signed new players. Now, the first goal conceded was because of a Marcos Alonso mistake. Our left back situation, thank God we got Chilwell because we really need to sort out that position. Second goal was a mistake by Thiago Silva. It was his first game. I don't want to really slate him that much, but you're like 35, 36 years old. You shouldn't be making a mistake like that. And then the third goal, I think Alonso was it. The third goal was Alonso. Yeah, Alonso didn't track his man, innit?
Something like that, but Reece James was keeping them on.
Yeah. So it was just like we keep conceding to individual errors. Now, of course, we made a comeback, and I'm really happy we made that comeback. But of course, the academy boys bailed us out once again. What was I saying about Hudson-Odoi? He is slept on. Play Hudson-Odoi, I'm telling you now. But yeah, what's your take on this game?
I'm just disappointed. I'm not impressed. You know, we're losing 3-0 to West Brom.
It was 3-3, but it feels like a loss because this is a game that we should have won easy.
It's a game, like the fact that you went 3-0 down, and the 3 goals that were scored were just.
There were goals that should have been avoidable.
Especially the third one. That hurt my heart. Like honestly, I was so heartbroken. Like I was on FaceTime to you. I was just saying I'm lost for words. I couldn't even speak.
I didn't know what to believe. I didn't know what to think at that point.
I was like second half. I saw that they made changes immediately. I saw Marcos Alonso came off. Gassed about that.
Thank God. Yeah.
And who else?
And he brought on Hudson-Odoi at half time for Thiago Silva, I think.
So yeah, I was he brought in Giroud for Thiago.
Oh yeah. Wait, who did Hudson-Odoi come off for? For how? Wait, for Kovacic, wasn't it? Yeah.
So like, it was a good comeback, but that should have been.
Thing is, last week I was talking about how like teams are in a bad position and then they have to make that comeback. Then we praise them for making that comeback. I feel like to an extent we have to look at why were they in that place that they had to make a comeback. Like where they had to make a comeback.
Exactly.
I think Chelsea's performance in the first half, we had moments like Werner hit the crossbar, Tammy missed 2 shots which he really should have finished. But yeah, at least we did make that comeback in the second half. What do you think about Havertz's performance in that game? He first time started in that number 10 role. What do you think about his performance?
He didn't play bad, to be honest. He was active. He was all about the pitch. You know, he looked like a player that can make things happen. You know, we saw little bits like link up play. Good. He's good holding up with the ball. He got the assist to Callum Hudson-Odoi. You know, he got himself in that little pocket and just a little layoff. So like, there's praise that I can give to him for that. But you know, I just want to see him like a little bit more of him, like, you know, getting into the final third. You know, trying to get some goals.
Yeah.
Because like, we haven't really seen that side of him yet. But I just know like once he just gets scoring in the Prem, it's going to be hard to stop him from not scoring. And it's like with Werner as well. Like once he gets up and running, he's going to be a tank. He's gonna keep firing and firing. So you know, I just feel like, and again, like just give them time. They're new to the league. It's only their third game in the Prem. So yeah, just give them time. You know, a few more games, they'll be up to the speed of it. Be getting into it more. But you know, as a whole team, I'm just disappointed that we actually went 3-0 down. Good comeback, but we shouldn't have been in that position in the first place. Yeah,
I agree. So obviously we'll talk about the Chelsea loss that happened yesterday in the Carabao Cup like very soon. But a few Arsenal fans, one in particular who I'm not going to name, he knows who he is. He was saying to me, Chelsea spent 200 million just to lose, basically. And in this game, we had to get bailed out by our academy players. So, did Chelsea make a mistake spending 50 mil on Werner, spending like 70 plus mil on Havertz? And should we have strengthened our defence more? Obviously, we've got Chilwell, who looks like he's going to be very good. And we've got Mendy, who also looks like he's going to be good. But should we have strengthened our defence a bit more?
You know, I'll be honest with you, I don't think you need to. Like, we have people like Rudiger, Zuma, Tomori. You know, we signed Sarr. He's out. I think he's out on loan at the moment. He'll be ready for next season. So like, I think we have the number of defenders. It's just that we need to like develop them so that they can be the best version of themselves. At the moment, I think it's a problem is where they don't know their actual true potential, and they're not playing to the level that at what they could be, because you know, like, defense was our main issue last season. So our defense was continuously being changed. So it wasn't given like people like Zuma, you know, Tomori, Rudiger, like that consistency playing at the back week in, week out. So I feel like, you know, Thiago Silva can really help them like to develop, mature as players, as defenders, to become better.
Yeah.
So I just think like, again, we spent the money in the right places, because at the same time, Willian's left, Hazard's gone. We only had Pulisic and an academy player, so we needed to bring in a striker like Werner. An attacking midfielder like Havertz, a creative player like Ziyech, you know. So I feel like we spent the money in the right places. Like, there may be some things that I would have done different, like signing other players other than Chilwell. Maybe not getting Thiago Silva and getting an actual proper centre back that can last long. But
yeah,
you know, I'm not gonna criticise anything. Like, again, you just gotta give them time.
So like, you don't think that Lampard's the wrong man for the job?
Oh yeah, I do. I think
you think we need a new manager?
Yeah, we do. I don't like him, man.
Nah.
I think honestly, I think he's deluded. I think he's actually deluded. He was saying how like he's saying about how he was pleased with the performance, and like how he wasn't disappointed. But it was kind of, he was saying,
because certain managers say that to the press, and they're like in the changing room, Like you see, like if you look at Pep, in his All or Nothing, like when they did the All or Nothing documentary, he never really like batted his players in the press, but then in the changing rooms, like you know that clip where he's like, everyone sit down, nobody talk. Yeah, you know that clip.
Yeah.
Like that's how that to his players in the dressing room, but then to the press, he's like, oh yeah, they played well, improving it. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of managers just do that, like to the press, but then in the change room, you see like the real them.
I don't know, because like honestly, you would think that Tottenham weren't even trying to win the game, and we ended up losing.
Okay, yeah, let's move on to that Tottenham game. I just want to say that I think Lampard is the right man for the job. I think that the bond that he's built with the academy players,
Yeah.
I think that will be good for us. And I also think that, you know, there has been times, like, bear in mind, the matches that Chelsea have lost have been because of individual errors. It's not because of tactical errors or systematic errors. It's because Alonso thinks that's a good idea to head the ball back into the middle when it's a player running towards it.
Yeah.
Because Thiago Silva made a mistake. And then because Reece James and Alonso like just had a little mess up in the back line. In the first game, we could see that goal. Who was it? It was against Brighton. Could see that goal because of Kepa's individual mistake. Against Liverpool, we could see the goal because of Kepa's individual mistake, and also how's the first goal conceded?
Lack of players in our midfield.
I can't remember how the whole thing was
But it's because
played up. But like it's
of the red card.
yeah, exactly because of an individual error, the red card. So I feel like Lampard can't control over playing this individual error. But we'll quickly touch on that on the Spurs Chelsea game, because if we don't talk about it, then people get onto us because we're Chelsea fans. So you know, people say we're biased in this podcast. Good performance in the first half by Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
A much better performance in the second half by Spurs. Mason Mount, because he's like the main talking point, obviously missed the penalty. Now I know that you and me disagree on this. We were talking about it quite a lot today at school. You think Mason Mount is not good, and I think give him time. I think he has shown this season that he is quality, and I think that just because he missed a penalty, every player misses a penalty. I think that you can't really get onto him like that. Cool, he didn't have the best game. Cool, he maybe forgot how to pass when him and Vernon were through on goal. Cool, but I still think he's still a top quality player.
Yeah. Like, I'm not saying he's not good. I'm just disappointed in him.
You weren't saying this at school, mate. You were not saying this at school.
Nah, because I was annoyed. I was very annoyed. Like, it got to me, and you know, people were saying things about how our team's rubbish, and I just, you know, I got a little bit carried away. But you know, honest reflection of like him as a player, I just expected better from him. Like, knowing what he can do, like, you know, he's in quality in the side. He's probably one of the best in our team. And out of all people, I wouldn't really have expected him to miss.
Like who took up penalties? So when Tammy stepped up for penalty, I was scared.
I'll be honest with you.
When Jorginho stepped up, I was scared. When Mount stepped up, I was like, oh yeah, we got this in the bag. Let me check our penalty takers right now. If it's gonna come out, I don't think it's gonna come out.
It was the first one was
okay. Yeah, so when Tammy stepped up, I was like, "Cool," bit shook. When Aspilicueta stepped up, I was even like, "Oh, he could blast us on the bar." Jorginho's penalty wasn't even that good. Like, he's lucky he scored. I'm not gonna lie.
That's what
Emerson's
I'm saying.
penalty, I was even shook about Emerson. And then when Mount stepped up, I was like, "Oh yeah, Mount's gonna bang this in the back of the net."
That's
but
what
then
I'm saying. I see. Listen,
unfortunately, didn't score.
I see the ball hit the little above the seats.
Well, like the post. Oh yeah.
And I'm like,
I thought he went initially. I thought he went in, and then I was like, "Oh wait, that's not the back of the net."
yeah,
that's not the back of the net.
I saw it hit like where the seats normally are. Like, there's the banner above the seats. I saw the ball hit there, and I'm like, you didn't actually just miss. Like, I was so confident he was gonna score. Like, I was more shook of Tammy. I was shaking. I couldn't even watch. I was literally shaking, sitting down on my sofa when Tammy was kicking. I didn't want to look. I saw it again. I was like, okay, you've got Tammy out the way. Everyone else is gonna score.
Yeah.
So
okay,
upset.
yeah, but Spurs had a really. I think Spurs definitely came out in the second half with the intent to win the game.
They wanted it more.
Obviously. Yeah, and they have like a really rough schedule. Like
Exactly.
we recorded this on Wednesdays, and tomorrow Spurs have a game in the Europa League. So they have a really tough schedule, but they just feel like they wanted it more. Even after Dyer decided to go and use a toilet halfway through the game, they still still couldn't capitalize. But Mendy, yeah. What do you think? How do you think of Mendy's debut? I think he had a good debut. Of course, it's a bit peak that his first game turned to shootout. But what do you think about his debut?
Like, he seems commanding, coming out of the corners. He looks confident that he comes out.
He's 6'6". Like obviously, like, he doesn't really need to jump to grab the ball from the air.
He made a save, got down low, saved it with his foot as well. That save against Reguilon. Good save with that. So I'm expecting big things from Mendy. Like first game, very impressed. But we'll see how as he plays more games. You see what his performance is like. But I'm confident he can give us what we've been wanting for about 2 years.
Yeah.